The Unseen Labyrinth, Navigating the Mind's Inner Complexities. In the quietude of our own being, within the silence that whispers beneath the cacophony of our thoughts, lies a space of incredible power and purity. It is here, in the recesses of the mind, where our most profound transformation can occur, where the seeds of peace can be sown and nurtured. Our thoughts are like wild horses, unbridled and untamed, racing across the plains of our consciousness. To purify the mind and dispel dirty thoughts is to learn the art of gentle mastery over these wild steeds, not through force, but through understanding and patience. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. Consider the mind as a garden. Now, what happens when weeds grow wild? They choke the life out of the flowers and vegetables we wish to flourish. Dirty thoughts operate similarly. They are the weeds of our mental garden, and if left unchecked, they cloud our clarity and hinder our growth. To purify the mind is to engage in the diligent work of a gardener, carefully removing these weeds, nurturing the soil, and creating an environment where only what is beneficial can bloom. I want to invite you on a voyage, not through space, but through the inner cosmos of your own vast and intricate mind. This is not a journey of miles, but of moments of choice, attention, and intention. It begins with the simplest yet most powerful tool we possess, our breath. Breathing in, we invite freshness into our inner garden, and breathing out, we release the stale, the unwanted, and the unhelpful. This is our first act of purification, a signal to our mind that we are ready to cleanse and renew. But how do we persist in this state? How do we maintain the garden of our mind so that only purity blooms within? It is through vigilance and the practice of discernment. We must learn to discern which thoughts serve us and which do not. Like a skilled chef, we must decide which ingredients will create the nourishing meal that is our life experience. We must choose thoughts that align with our highest intentions and discard those that do not. In this process, we encounter thoughts that are deeply rooted, thoughts that have woven themselves into the very fabric of our psyche. These are the thoughts that often cause us the most distress, the ones that seem to have a life of their own. To kill these dirty thoughts is not an act of violence, but an act of liberation. We liberate ourselves from their grip by understanding their origin and their purpose. Why are they here? What do they feed on? What are they protecting us from? These are the questions that cut to the root, allowing us to gently remove them from our mental soil. The act of purification is not a one-time event, but a continuous process, a lifestyle. It is the daily practice of choosing which thoughts we will water and which we will weed out. This requires us to be fully present in each moment, fully aware of the currents of thought that flow through us. We become the observer, the witness to our own minds, and in that observation, there is space. A space where the purity of our true nature shines forth. Now, consider the power of focus. The mind, like light through a magnifying glass, has the power to burn away impurity when properly focused. What we focus on grows. What we give our attention to becomes our reality. Therefore, to purify the mind, we must focus on purity itself. We must fill our minds with thoughts, images, and intentions of the highest order, thoughts that elevate and inspire, that cleanse and heal. But what is it that we are truly seeking when we talk of purifying the mind? Is it a state of emptiness, a void of thought? Or is it perhaps a state of fullness, a mind brimming with love, compassion, and wisdom? The answer lies in the balance, in the harmonious dance between being and becoming, between stillness and action. As we proceed, let's cultivate the art of mindfulness, the practice of being acutely aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment. Mindfulness is the gentle breeze that disperses the clouds of dirty thoughts, revealing the clear blue sky of our purest intentions. It is the practice of being here, in the now, fully engaged with life as it unfolds, moment by precious moment. The path to purifying the mind is paved with the gold of self-awareness. To know oneself is to know one's thoughts, and to know one's thoughts is to have the power to change them. We are not slaves to our thoughts. We are their masters, and as such, we have the choice at every turn to cultivate purity and dispel that which does not serve. In our quest to purify the mind, we must also address the heart, for it is from the heart that our deepest thoughts spring forth. A heart filled with love and compassion will naturally give rise to pure thoughts, while a heart embroiled in pain and fear may breed the very thoughts we wish to cleanse. Thus, to purify the mind, we must also tend to the garden of the heart, ensuring that it is well fertilized with experiences that open, uplift, and expand our capacity for love. Now let's turn our attention to the company we keep, for just as a drop of ink can cloud a glass of water, so too can the company we keep cloud our minds. We must choose our associations wisely, seeking out those who embody the qualities we wish to cultivate within ourselves. Surround yourself with those who speak the language of positivity, encouragement, and wisdom, and you will find that their words plant seeds of purity in the garden of your mind. The media we consume also plays a pivotal role in the purity of our thoughts. Just as our bodies become what we eat, so our minds become what we consume. Be selective in what you watch, read, and listen to. Immerse yourself in content that is edifying, that challenges you to grow and aligns with your highest values. The mind is impressionable, and it will take the shape of whatever we fill it with. In the process of purifying the mind, we will inevitably face resistance. The mind is a creature of habit, and it clings to the familiar, even when the familiar is unwholesome. Breaking free from these patterns requires courage and determination. It requires us to stand guard at the gates of our thoughts, to be vigilant and steadfast in our pursuit of purity. To truly kill dirty thoughts, we must understand their nature. These thoughts are not inherently powerful. Their power is borrowed, lent by our own attention and belief. When we withdraw our attention and belief, they wither and die. They are shadows, and they cannot exist in the light of our awareness and understanding. Let us now consider forgiveness, for it is a powerful cleanser of the mind. To forgive is to release the bonds of resentment and anger that cloud our thoughts and weigh heavily upon our hearts. Forgiveness does not condone or excuse, but it does free us from the toxic cycles of negative thinking that trap us in the past. As we progress on this path of purification, we must also embrace the power of gratitude. Gratitude is the light that dispels darkness, the warmth that melts away the coldness of cynicism and despair. A grateful mind is a fertile ground for thoughts of purity, for when we are grateful, we see the world not as a place of scarcity and threat, but as a realm of abundance and opportunity. The practice of purification is not only about removing the negative, but also about celebrating and amplifying the positive. It is about recognizing and honoring the good within us and around us. When we focus on the good, when we give it our energy and attention, it expands and fills our minds with its radiance. Now, let us turn inward and consider the role of silence in purifying the mind. In silence, we find a respite from the noise of our thoughts. Silence is the canvas upon which the art of our lives is painted. It is the space in which pure thoughts can arise unbidden. Spend time in silence every day and watch as the clarity and purity of your thoughts begin to reflect the tranquility of your surroundings. As we continue on this path, we must also learn the art of letting go. To purify the mind, we must release our attachments to specific outcomes, to the need for control, to the desire for recognition. Letting go is not an act of weakness but of strength. It is the recognition that life flows and that we are part of that flow, not separate from it, not in opposition to it. The journey of purifying the mind is a journey without end. For as long as we live, thoughts will arise, and we will have the choice of which to nurture and which to let go. It is a journey of constant learning, constant growth, and constant renewal. It is the journey of becoming fully human, fully alive, and fully awake to the wonder that resides within us and all around us. In this first part of our exploration, we have laid the foundation for purifying the mind. We have understood the importance of breath, the power of discernment, the necessity of focus, and the roles of self-awareness, love, and forgiveness. As we prepare to move deeper into this exploration, let us carry with us the wisdom we have gleaned, ready to build upon it in the next phase of our voyage. The Tapestry of Tranquility, weaving thoughts with the threads of serenity. As we progress in our quest for mental purity, it becomes imperative to recognize the interconnectedness of all things, including our thoughts. The thoughts that we cultivate and allow to take root in our minds are not isolated. They ripple out into the world, influencing our actions and interactions. To purify the mind is, therefore, not just a personal endeavor, but a universal one. It is an act of service to the world, for a mind at peace is a world at peace. The fabric of our thoughts is intricate, each thread intertwined with another, creating a tapestry of consciousness that reflects our innermost being. When we weave this tapestry with threads of serenity, compassion, and wisdom, we create a masterpiece that can stand the test of time and circumstance. But how do we select these threads? How do we ensure that our mental tapestry embodies the purity we seek? Let us begin with intention, the thread that colors all others. Intention is the silent whisper behind every thought, the unseen force that shapes our destiny. When we set an intention for purity, we create a blueprint for our thoughts to follow. This intention acts as a compass, guiding us back to our path whenever we stray. It is our statement to the universe that we are committed to cultivating a mind that reflects the highest aspects of our nature. The practice of setting intentions is powerful, for it is the planting of a seed, the beginning of a new growth. Each morning, as the world awakens, set an intention for the day. Let it be clear, let it be strong, and let it resonate with the core of who you are. Throughout the day, return to this intention. Let it be your anchor in the tumultuous seas of thought. In the realm of thoughts, there is a spectrum that ranges from the mundane to the profound. To purify the mind, we must elevate our thoughts to the higher end of this spectrum. We must seek the profound in the everyday, the extraordinary in the ordinary. This does not mean that we ignore the practicalities of life, but rather that we approach them with a mindset that sees beyond the immediate, that understands the deeper implications of our thoughts and actions. Consider the power of love in this context. Love is the most potent purifier, for it is the very essence of our being. When we approach our thoughts and actions with love, we naturally choose that which is pure and discard that which is not. Love is the light that reveals the beauty and truth in all things. It is the force that draws out the best in us and in others. In the dance of our thoughts, there is often a lead and a follow. The lead is our conscious mind, the part of us that makes deliberate choices and decisions. The follow is our subconscious mind, the part of us that operates beneath the surface, guiding much of our behavior without our direct awareness. To purify the mind, we must bring harmony between the lead and the follow, ensuring that they move together in a graceful and intentional choreography. Training the subconscious mind is like training a muscle. It requires repetition and consistency. Affirmations and visualizations are tools we can use to imprint our desired reality onto the subconscious. By repeatedly affirming our intentions and visualizing our mental purity, we send a clear message to the subconscious that this is the path we choose to walk. Over time, these practices reshape our thought patterns, aligning them with our highest intentions. We must also acknowledge the role of adversity and challenges in purifying the mind. It is through overcoming obstacles that we find our strength, and it is through facing our darkness that we come to appreciate the light. When we encounter dirty thoughts, instead of recoiling in shame or frustration, we can view them as opportunities to practice our commitment to purity. Each time we choose a pure thought over a dirty one, we fortify our resolve and deepen our understanding of ourselves. But what of the thoughts that seem to grip us, that refuse to be released? There is wisdom in recognizing that some thoughts are not ready to be let go until they have taught us what we need to learn. The mind holds on to certain thoughts because they serve a purpose, often as protectors or messengers. To release these thoughts, we must engage with them, converse with them, and find out what they want us to know. Once their message is received, they can be released with gratitude for their service. As we become more adept at purifying our thoughts, we might find that our sensitivity to impurity increases. This is a sign of progress, for it means that we are more attuned to the quality of our mental environment. Like a musician who can discern the slightest off note in a symphony, we too can detect the disharmony of a dirty thought amidst the melody of our mind. In this heightened state of awareness, it is crucial to practice self-compassion. There will be times when we falter, when we allow a dirty thought to stain our tapestry. This is not a failure, but a part of the human experience. What matters is how we respond to these moments. Do we liberate ourselves, or do we gently guide our thoughts back to purity with kindness and understanding? Self-compassion is the soothing balm that heals the mind and allows us to continue our practice with renewed vigor. Ultimately, the practice of purifying the mind is a journey, not a destination. It is a continuous process of choosing, moment by moment, the thoughts that uplift and nourish us and, by extension, the world around us. It is a commitment to cultivating an inner garden where only the most beautiful thoughts are allowed to bloom. Let us then be diligent gardeners of the mind, tending to our thoughts with care and precision. Let us weave our tapestry with threads of intention, love, understanding, and self-compassion. And let us remember that each thread, no matter how small, contributes to the whole, creating a picture of who we are and what we bring to this world. For in the end, the purity of our minds is our gift to humanity, a testament to the possibility of living in harmony with ourselves and each other. It is the legacy we leave behind, a beacon of light in a world that so often dwells in shadow.